All right, there's your problem. It's your alternator.
But ain't it electric?
Right. Yeah, we don't need that. Good day, folks. Welcome back to Ed's Garage. If you're shopping for a used electric car, I bet I can guess the exact nightmare that's keeping you up all night. You're terrified that you'll buy a sweet, cheap daily driver and 6 months later, the battery pack will die, hitting you with a $15,000 replacement bill. The internet has convinced everyone that EV batteries are like cheap smartphone batteries, and that after a few years, they just drop dead. Well, today on Ed's Garage, I'm going to bust that myth for you, or at least help you find the resources to do that. There are several different companies that have done studies on EV batteries, proving that they will outlast the vehicle themselves, and those links are in the description below. So if you're curious, please go check that out. Now, I'm going to provide you some pretty stress-free things that you can do that require zero special tools or tech degrees to make sure that the vehicle that you're buying is the right EV for you. So let's get into it. Look, I get the fear the battery is still the most expensive component on an EV, but now we have years of real-world tracking on thousands of these cars. A massive study by Geotab analyzed over 22,000 vehicles, and they found that on average, EV batteries don't really lose much at all. As a matter of fact, only 1.5 to 2.3% of their capacity per year. That means if you buy an 8-year-old EV, the battery is still expected to hold roughly 81 to 85% of its original day one range. Now, if you're worried about the total battery failure, Recurrent Auto tracked over 20,000 EVs and found that for cars built from 2016 onward, the total battery replacement rate is less than 1%. 1%. That's it. You have a higher statistical chance of blowing an engine or transmission on a high mileage gas car than you do replacing an EV battery. Unlike your cell phone, EV batteries have highly sophisticated cooling systems that keep the battery at its perfect operating temperature, plus buffers built into the software so you never truly overcharge or over-deplete the cells. This came out of a 2015 Chevy Spark electric EV, a vehicle that was built in South Korea for General Motors. This particular device right here is the battery management system. So essentially this is monitoring every single one of the individual cells, and essentially in that battery there's a lot of cells. There is 96 pairs of these, and what's really cool is because you want to keep these really cool, pun intended, this sits in between every single pair of cells. This is actually a fluid channel. So essentially fluid goes in through here, it runs through all of these individual little channels and then goes out this other side. And it's connected basically in series with all of the other batteries in that pack. This right here is a cylindrical cell. So we've got a packet cell style. This is a lithium ion polymer packet cell. And then we have a 18650, just a standard lithium ion. This is an NMC battery. I don't know what this is out of, to be honest. It's not out of an EV, but to give you an idea, a Rivian uses over 7,700 of these guys, and they're cooled usually from the bottom. They'll sit on a plate, basically cooling every single cell from the bottom. I believe some actually have cooling channels going between rows of these batteries as well. I could be wrong, but essentially they're very, very well maintained. So if the batteries are that tough, how do you protect yourself without needing a computer science degree or diagnostic scanner to check the car? It's dead simple. All you've got to do is have a look at the calendar and look at the odometer on the vehicle. Every single major auto manufacturer is legally required to back up their EV batteries with a massive federally mandated warranty. The standard across almost the entire industry is 8 years or 160,000 kilometers, 100,000 miles. And they guarantee that battery won't drop below 70% health during that time. That's another thing I wanted to point out. A lot of people think that battery degradation means the end of the battery pack and the end of the usefulness of that vehicle. That couldn't be further from the truth. If your battery pack is degraded 30%, it doesn't necessarily mean that the vehicle is useless. It means that the vehicle has less range. And most people tend to not use their vehicle's full range anyway. As a matter of fact, in North America, the average commute is less than 50 kilometers. That is not very far, considering vehicles now have ranges, electric vehicles now have ranges topping 500 or 600 kilometers. 50 kilometers, that's a tenth of that. And if you're looking at old used EVDs, well, if you're looking at old used EVs, often you'll find ranges in the neighborhood of somewhere between 2 to 400 kilometers. And as a matter of fact, even those, as I mentioned, would still be very, very useful vehicles. Even if your EV only had a range of 100 kilometers like that old Chevy Spark, it would still be useful for a day-to-day drive to and from work, kept in the corner. You can buy used EVs now for like $5,000–6,000 if they only have 100 kilometers of range, and you're still immediately going to save on these exorbitant fuel costs. Now, going back to the calendar, well, check the car's history report, like Carfax, to see exactly when it was first delivered to the original buyer. Obviously, this will tell you exactly how many months are left on the 8-year factory warranty. If it's 80,000 kilometers, you have years of zero-cost factory-backed peace of mind. So make sure you check that odometer to see how many kilometers are on that vehicle. Now, obviously, you want to make sure that the warranty is intact. So good practice is to take that VIN number, call up the local dealership in your area, give them the VIN, and just make sure that the vehicle's warranty hasn't been abused for whatever reason. Make sure they haven't removed the warranty on the battery, or make sure they haven't removed the warranty on some other part of the vehicle. Or if the vehicle is a salvage rebuild, then often it's not going to have any warranty either. So good idea to take the VIN number, check the dealership, and make sure that the warranty is actually fully intact. Now, of course, if there is no warranty, chances are you're getting this EV very inexpensively. Obviously, you're going to want to do some digging. I would recommend get a professional mechanical inspection. Generally, you can get that done for $100 to $150, depending on which mechanic you go to. Just make sure that they're EV certified or have some sort of electric vehicle experience. If you want to do this at home on your own, well, not at home obviously, but if you want to do this on your own, consider getting a Bluetooth OBD2 reader and using apps like Torque Pro, Car Scanner, things like that on your phone. You might actually be able to check the state of health of the battery. But again, the whole point of this video is to try to dissuade you from being worried about the battery itself, because chances are the battery is just fine. Instead of losing sleep over the battery chemistry, focus on the stuff that actually wears out on a used EV. Treat it like a mini mechanical inspection. Check the tires. Look for uneven tread wear. EVs are heavy and have instant power, which can shred cheap tires really fast. Make sure the car has good rubber on it. Ideally EV-specific tires that handle the extra weight. A good tip is to bring a good flashlight with you. That way you can check a lot of the darker nooks and crannies without worrying too much about them being too dark to see. So, next thing, let's check the brakes. Have a look at the rotors. Make sure they're not too rusted. Electric vehicles have regenerative braking capabilities, which means that the actual physical brakes don't get used very much. So often what you'll see is a buildup of rust around the outer edge of the rotor, meaning that the brakes probably haven't been serviced in a while, and that's a good negotiating point. If you're there with two people, or if you can have the previous owner do this for you, have a listen at every single caliper while they tap the brakes. And listen for a little bit of movement in the calipers. If there's no sound at all, it's entirely possible that that caliper may actually be completely seized up. It's not uncommon for electric vehicles to experience that, again, due to the fact that they use so much regenerative braking. So that's definitely something to watch out for. With an electric vehicle that can be used off-road like this Rivian, it's a really good idea to check underneath the vehicle. Damage to the battery itself, or at least the battery pack underneath, is probably not going to be covered by any sort of warranty or by any sort of insurance. Well, it'd be covered by insurance, but chances are you'd be on the hook for a deductible. And if you didn't do it, it's probably not going to be covered under your insurance. So definitely a good idea to get low and have a look at underneath the vehicle. Now, on a Rivian such as this, often the battery pack will have a pretty heavy duty shield to protect it from impact or damage. But if I were looking at a used electric vehicle and I saw a tear down the battery, I would probably be moving on and not buying that vehicle. Another thing to do, have a look at, of course, the front and rear bumpers. Often you can find little bits of damage here and there just by things like gaps between panels, discoloration in the paint, that sort of thing. And that'll give you a good indication of whether or not the vehicle may have been in an accident at some point. So that's definitely something to look out for as well. Now, of course, take it out on a test drive, listen for clicks, rattles, groans, squeaks, take it over some bumps, obviously. I can't stress this enough, guys. You need to drive the vehicle. It doesn't matter if the vehicle is coming from a dealership or from a private sale, you have to drive the vehicle. There is so many things that could crop up that you weren't aware of when you take it out for a drive. And chances are, if it's a private sale, oh hell, even if it's a sale from a dealership, they're probably not going to tell you absolutely everything that is potentially wrong with the vehicle. Now, in a vehicle, again, like this Rivian, it has air suspension, which means there could be a myriad of hidden problems that don't show up right away. So what I would always recommend is take it somewhere where there are speed bumps and hit the speed bump a little bit harder than you normally would, like this, and listen for those rattles, bumps, knocks, whatever. Obviously, very, very important. Now, of course, while you're driving the vehicle, do the obvious, check all the electronics, make sure everything works, all the cameras function, etc. It's not a bad idea to hit the brakes hard as well, make sure that the anti-lock braking system is working properly. Have a look, make sure that there is no obvious warning signs on the dashboard. Forgot to point out, of course, that because EVs are so quiet, if there is something wrong with the brakes or if there's something wrong with the suspension, chances are you're going to hear it. That's one of the big advantages of test driving an EV before purchasing it. Have a listen for the electric motor noise as well. The most that you should hear is a bit of a whine as you accelerate. You shouldn't hear any grinding, any clicking, anything that sounds mechanical. At the very most, you should hear just sort of that electrical whine. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, that's all you should really hear on an electric vehicle. Nothing else really makes noise. Now, if you have the climate control on and the fan is spinning, you may hear that. That would be a bit of a whooshing sound. Again, if you hear a bit of a grinding there or a ticking, there might be something stuck in the fan, something like that. But all in all, electric vehicles make very, very little noise. And if you hear anything that you think is out of the ordinary, definitely inquire as to what it might be or what it is, and consider getting it mechanically inspected at that point. So, bottom line, the used EV market is one of the best ways to score a reliable, incredibly cheap to run daily vehicle right now. Don't let the internet scaremongering run you off. If the body is straight, the suspension is tight, then the factory 8-year warranty is still intact, you're looking at a safe bet. Have you been shopping around for a used EV, or did battery degradation scare you away? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and for more straight talking advice from the shop, I'll see you on the next one right here at Ed's Garage. Thank you so much for watching, and take care.